Today I'm going to show you exactly how I scrape Reddit to create startup ideas worth pursuing, and this is exactly how I do it. So if I run this workflow here, what we're going to see in about 30 seconds from now is a problem, a solution, a conclusion, and the Reddit link to a problem where we have scraped the comments, scraped the replies to the comments, filtered it through a large filtering system, and right now already ChatGPT has created the solution to the post right here. And if we hit in here, we can have access to a solution to a problem that it's found within this Reddit post. So if this sounds like something you'll be interested in, then be sure to stick around. So all I've given myself for this automation is a little rough outline for me to follow. So here I've got a trigger, then I want to scrape Reddit, and I want to filter posts based on specific keywords that I get it, that I provide the automation, and then I want to filter through these posts to ensure that these posts are actually about problems that people are talking about. And then I want to identify those problems using AI and then create a solution to those problems using AI that we can, in this case, create solutions for through apps and SaaS apps with all these no-code tools going around. I thought it would be a good idea to do that. Things like Lovable and Cursor. And then, of course, I want to put that solution into a document. I'm thinking a Google Sheet so that we can have multiple different rows of solutions to specific problems that people were having in certain subreddits in Reddit. So let's get straight into it. First, you'll need to create a new instance in N8N. And if we go back here, we need to scrape Reddit first. So I'm going to go add first step, and then I'm just going to trigger manually. And then click the plus icon, search in Reddit. And then search for post is the node we are looking for. And I'm actually going to create a credential because I didn't know how to create a credential before a few days ago. So I'm going to run you guys through that process. So I'm going to go create new credential, and then we need a client ID and a client secret. So if I head over here, I'll provide you guys with this link, but we will need to head over to this link where we can create a new app. Let me just sign in. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to go create another app, and I'm going to go test integration for N8N. Oh, N8N. We're going to keep it at a web app. You can add a description if you want, and then the redirect URI. N8N provides here, or with redirect URL. Copy that, paste it in here. I'm not a robot, and create the app. Okay, let me delete these. It seems you cannot have more than one app, so I'm going to revoke that access. Now I'm going to create this again. There we go. So I couldn't create the app just before because I had more than one app added into this dashboard in Reddit for their API. But when you've created the app, you'll be able to find a secret here. So we need to copy this secret. This is the client secret. And the client ID, it's a bit weird, but it's this number up here under web app. And it's this string of numbers and letters. And then you can paste that in the client ID, connect my account, and click allow. Now the connection has been successful. We can scrape Reddit. So let's head over to Reddit. We have to figure out a subreddit that we want to scrape, and then what keyword do we want to look for in the posts of that subreddit. So, oh yeah, I guess we'll just go for Salesforce. So to identify the subreddit, we just copy the name, everything after the R and /, and paste that in here. And then the problem we're looking for, the keyword, sorry, we're looking for, it can be anything you want, just keywords. This will define what keywords you want to look for in Reddit posts. And I think the first thing that comes to the top of my head is problem. We can see how this goes. I'm going to limit this to 10 just for testing purposes. Scrape Reddit. And then I'm going to make sure this connection works. So we're going to see. Perfect. We got 10 results here, all with the keyword problem in them. What do we have here? We can see we got the subreddit, the self text. This is the post content. So the content within the Reddit post, all of this text here. And then we've got the title to the Reddit post, and also another important field for filtering that we're going to use is the upvotes. I'm going to filter based off upvotes to create solutions to problems these guys are facing in the Salesforce subreddit, because I don't really want to create solutions to posts where users express problems they are having, but then there's only one upvote or two upvotes, because it shows that that problem isn't really relatable and in demand across a wider user base except for themselves. So then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a filter. Going to search for filter, and then I'm going to come down here and make sure that ups, drag that in here, is greater than in the number format. I want to say 15 or 20. I'll do 20. Because if there's 20 or more upvotes, then I can assume that this problem is in demand or common across a wider customer base than just one person. So filter upvotes. And then from here, I think I'm going to run this again. And I'm going to pin this data. I'm going to pin it so I can use it over and over and over again, and I don't keep requesting the Reddit API. This is good when testing to avoid encountering API rate limits. And you can see here also after the filter, only 3 of these 10 posts had more than 20 upvotes on them. So now what I think I'm going to do is head into an OpenAI node. I'm actually going to head back here. We're scraping Reddit, we're filtering, and now we need to filter through qualified posts. So I guess we could assume all of these posts are qualified now that they have over 20 upvotes, but we could qualify them a little bit more. We could say, we could use AI to define, head over to OpenAI, message a model, and we could ask AI to analyze the post itself to identify whether this is an actual problem now talking about, as opposed to just using a simple keyword like we did when scraping Reddit. OpenAI and AI will take into account the context of the entire post. So this can just refine it a little bit more. So first we'll need to choose a model. I believe the latest is 4.1. Yeah. I'm gonna make this a system prompt. So system prompt being what should OpenAI or ChatGPT identify as. And we want it to identify as you are a helpful, intelligent, can't spell today. You're a helpful, intelligent Reddit post analyzing assistant. I'm going to add another message. Your job is to analyze a Reddit post from the subreddit Salesforce and analyze whether the user is expressing a problem that they are facing. If they are facing a specific issue, then respond with yes. But if they are not facing an issue, then respond with no. I'm also going to add a rules section here. I always do this, and then I'll just add a bullet point. Respond only with yes or no. Do not add any comments or quotes around your answer. So sometimes I always add this, do not add any comments or quotes around your answer, because often if you do not specify this and tell AI not to do this, then it will add quotes or comments around the answer. So I think that's okay for now. We're gonna run this and see the answers. See if it's doing what we want it to do. Let's go in here. We can see yes, yes, and yes. We could also qualify and look whether this is correct by reading it ourselves. Ideally on Sales Cloud, would be interested to see use cases. Ideally on Sales Cloud, I think we should also filter out posts that don't have enough context. That's what's the most impressive business problem you've solved with Flow? Yeah, there's not enough context here, really. If it's just this to come up with a solution, so I'm also going to specify that to the AI. Current and long-term sales loss, we are all facing challenges managing our sales. Or what are some of your what are some of the pressing issues you're currently dealing with, and what problems would you do to anticipate the next 1 to 5 years? Okay, so that's a question. I built a Dropbox online integration into our. We have 110 templates. Our business revolves around sending contracts out for signature up to a few dozen per day. Yesterday, about 2 p.m., HelloSign began throwing an error saying none of our merge fields were allowed. Approximate 3 lengths. Okay, so that's a longer post. So this seems more like a problem post, this one, but these two, this is more asking a question, and this one, ideally on Sales Cloud, this one maybe, what's the most impressive business problem you solved with Flow? I think this one I'll just filter out. And then for this one, we could, for like question posts, we could scrape the comments to the actual post. So this could be interesting. This could be interesting. So what I'm gonna do is I'll add a filter for now, and this filter is going to specify whether OpenAI has said yes or no. So content is equal to yes. And then I think I'm going to filter it a little bit more and ask AI to identify whether this post is about a question or it's about the user specifying a problem that they are facing. If it's a question, I think we will go down and scrape the comments then to that Reddit post to see what the users are answering with. So then we can inform AI a bit more when it creates its solution. So yes, I think I'll do that. I think that's the best way to do it. So I'm going to pin this so I don't have to keep requesting OpenAI. Run that, filter it, all three went through, and then I'm going to filter it. I was thinking whether I should put what I'm going to do now in place of this node. I think it'll be okay. So we're going to go OpenAI, message a model. Going to choose a model, 4.1. You could use 4.0 as well. I don't notice the difference too much. You are a helpful, intelligent Reddit post analyzing assistant. We can keep it similar to the system prompt we had in the other OpenAI node. Your job is to analyze Reddit posts to see whether they are asking a question to the Salesforce subreddit, or they are talking about and stating an issue they are facing. If if the post is talking about the issue they are facing, respond with issue, respond with, yeah, I'll do issue. And if the post is asking a question to the community only, then respond with question. And again, hashtag rules. Respond with, what was it? Issue or question. Do not add any comments or quotes around your answer. Okay, and no one. Here is the Reddit post. We go self text, drag that in here. So I just dragged that in from the scrape Reddit section. Okay, I think that'll be okay. Now, question or issue post. I actually forgot. Did I put in? I didn't. Here is the Reddit post. I forgot to put in the Reddit post into the prompt. So I'm going to again go here, scrape Reddit section, and then go down and find self text. Here it is. And then put that in here. Okay. So I'll need to run this again. See what AI does. Problem post. Yes or no. Okay, let's run this. Okay, so maybe we won't have to do what we did before. Let's see the post it passed through. Question. So this is a question post. What post is it? Let's go in here. I bought a drop sign. Yesterday at about 2 p.m. hello sign began throwing. Our business disaster. I wouldn't. What is everybody else using in Salesforce? Does anyone? Okay, yep. So that's a question. But I'm glad it removed this one. Ideally, it will be unsafe because I don't even know what that's talking about. But this one, current long-term sales, we face challenges in managing our Salesforce orgs. What are some pressing issues you're currently dealing with, and what potential problems do you anticipate in the next 1 to 5 years? Yeah, I guess I think we'll leave that for now. I don't think that's. I think that might be someone just researching about Salesforce, trying to build uh, a software themselves. So I think it's okay. I think AI did do the right job there in just extracting this one. Cool. So now we can split it out based off this response. If it's a question, we'll add an if node saying if ChatGPT's output is equal to question, if that's true, then we're gonna scrape the comments to that Reddit post. So we're gonna go Reddit, and then we're gonna go get many comments in a post. And the subreddit is going to be Salesforce. So I'm going to copy this again. And the post ID, I'm going to limit it to 10 again for testing purposes. There's an exclamation mark. I'm just going to do this random for now. I'm going to run the post up to here. I'm also going to pin this again so I don't have to use it. I don't have to continue making API requests to these platforms like OpenAI and Reddit. And then this is true. So it's a question post. And then we need to find the Reddit post ID, which I don't think is provided. I think we might have to extract it from the URL because I know the URL is provided, but a post ID, I don't think so. Unless this is it. ID here. Let's see if this is it. Drag and drop that in. Limit it to 10. Let's run this. Huh. There is a post ID. That's helpful. Okay, so we have 10 comments here. What do we have? Replies. I assume that's replies to the comment. Here. So here's the comment under the body. We use PandaDoc. And then the replies section here must be replies to that comment, which is pretty cool. So then we could possibly feed it in. Yeah, here. There is responses. Here's another response to that comment. Okay, this is cool. This will be helpful in providing AI with more context to the problem that people were facing and the solutions that some people have developed in order to inform its decision a little bit more. Scrape, post, comments. Okay. Gonna pin this data again. There we go. And if it's false, then we're just going to go directly to the OpenAI node that's going to provide us with the solution. So I'm going off a little bit from what I've created here, or creating the filtering system to be a bit more robust than what it looks like in here. Originally, I wasn't gonna scrape comments, but here I'm just showing you guys how easy this really is. So now we can hop into another OpenAI node to actually create a solution to the problem. So we're going to go message and assistant again. Going to go choose a model, 4.1. No 4.1. What's happened here? No results for 4. Assistant. Oh, not assistant. We want to message a model, not an assistant. I chose the wrong API call there. Head back, OpenAI. Message a model. There we go. 4.1. There we go. You are a helpful, intelligent. You'll notice I always start off with that. You're a helpful, intelligent, solution finding assistant. And I also always, or mostly start off with your job is to create a solution to a Reddit post where a user is expressing a problem they are facing in the this problem is coming from the subreddit Salesforce. This post has been defined as a question post. So along with the post I have provided, I could also open this up for you guys so it's a bit easier to see. Here we go. This post has been defined as a question post. So along with the post I provided the comments to this post. Rules. Do not add any quotes or comments around your answer. Also, I want it to output its answer in a specific format, so I'm going to provide it with a little bit of JSON. I'll provide you guys with this prompt, so you can just copy and paste it directly. You might need to play around with it a little bit more, but for the purposes of this, I'm going to try to keep it as short as possible. So here I'm going to do problem. So AI has to define the problem and then the solution. This is where I want them to, oh, not two quotes. What's happened there? Solution. What have I done? Problem, solution, and then conclusion. Conclusion. There we go. So now ChatGPT is gonna output this in JSON format. Output your answer in this JSON format. And this will basically make it nice and tidy for us to later on take the variables from its output. So now what we can do is we can go, here is the Reddit post. We'll go down to scrape Reddit post, south text. Here is the upvotes. I think I'll just provide this just because perhaps it could use it. And here are the comments to the post. Now I'm thinking of it because it outputs 10 items. Create solution to post. It outputs 10 items, as you can see here. We will have to aggregate these comments. So I'm gonna add another node here called aggregate. And then I'm gonna aggregate, where is it? It was called body, I believe. Yeah. So we're gonna aggregate the body. Comment. Maybe if we aggregate 2 fields, maybe if I go here, add node, because I want to aggregate the also, where did that go? Yeah. The replies to the comment. As we saw before, there were replies to the comment, and I'd like to aggregate those all together as well. Hopefully it's not, oh, it is. Maybe that'll be a bit hard. I might have to leave that out, unfortunately. I'm just going into another view here to see. Yeah, this is a bit of a shame. Because I don't really want to put in all of this information into ChatGPT. I mean, you could. Although I'd like to have the replies to the comments. Okay, I'm going to figure out how to do this and then get back to you. Okay, so I'm now scraping most of the comments from the post. It was a bit of a process. I had to go back and forth with, it wasn't ChatGPT, it was DeepSeek, because I could actually paste in the entire JSON file that was outputted from here, and DeepSeek could actually read the entire file as opposed to ChatGPT. So yeah, now if I run this, we're getting 32 out of the 42 comments, so it's 80% of the way there. If you wanted to get the whole thing, then you could do some more back and forth work. I have no idea what this is saying. I'm not a coder, but it works. Mostly. So yeah, it was a bit of a back and forth, and it's because there's a lot of layers, as you can see here, to the comments. So it was a bit difficult to extract, but we got most of them. We're getting 80% of the comments, so I think that's okay. To give ChatGPT great enough context into creating a solution to the problem that these users are facing. So now we can put this directly into ChatGPT. And now let me drag this over into the middle. We've got all of these comments, 39 comments. Actually, no, this is right. I think this is right. The reason I think this is right, and this is 100% of the way there, is because this bottom part, now I think of it, is only extracting replies to comments. This top part is extracting just the comments. So that's probably right. Because, of course, some comments won't have replies to them. some people might just comment and those comments won't have any replies. So no, this is probably right. Ah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I might just provide it with all the comments, honestly, and see what happens. Yeah, like that. Here are the replies to some of the comments. And if we collapse that, open this. I'm also gonna, before I do this, I'm going to aggregate this data as well. So I'm going to aggregate the body, just like that. Let's make sure this works. Into one item, perfect. Getting all the replies to the comments and all the comments themselves. Let's go down here. What one is this? Must be this one. I gotta name these fields. These nodes. Okay. There we go. Cool. So aggregate comments. Aggregate comments. Aggregate replies to comments. Extract replies to comments. Okay, now it's a moment of truth. We're gonna see, we're also gonna toggle output as JSON because if you remembered up in here, I've provided it with this JSON format that I want it to output. So let's give it a go. Let's see what the output looks like here. It's already not doing what I want it to do. So what I'm going to do is because I want both of these paths to run before heading into ChatGPT. So it has all the context. So what I'm going to do is add a node. This is going to be a merge node. We're going to append input 1, input 2. I'll zoom out as well for you guys. This is all we've done so far. Let's run this. There's 2 items here. I'll prefer it to be 1. But instead of append, I'm going to combine. Keep matches. Can I just do this? Fields to match have different. One is this. One is this. Let's see if that works. Run this now. That did not work. Do I have to do this? What if I just run this? Fields to match by all possible combinations. Let's see what happens here. What's the output? Okay, there we go. So we need to select all possible combinations. It's not often I use merge nodes, so didn't know what to do off the top of my head there. Now, let's go in here. I think it should be okay. Yeah, JSON comment body. We don't need to change anything there. Now let's run this. See what happens. See what the output is for this post. Maybe it would be worth just scraping the comments anyway off all posts. I think we will do that. So I might remove this filter and just and regardless of the post, scrape the comments. So let's see this output. There we've got that nice JSON format that we've provided, the problem, the solution, and conclusion. So now I'm going to plonk this on into Google Sheets. So I'm going to create a new sheet. We're going to name it Salesforce problem gaps sheet. Problem, solution, conclusion. And I think we'll add the Reddit link as well, so we can actually look at them. Yes. So let's connect this up. Let's go Sheets, add a Sheets node, append a row in a sheet. Am I zoomed in here? Let me zoom out. There we go. If you haven't already created a connection, you'll need to create one. It's super easy. You just sign in with Google. Okay. Let's go. Copy this name. Oh, it's right there. Go sheet 1. Problem, drag and drop it directly in there. Drag and drop, drag and drop. And then we need to find the Reddit link. So if we go down to scrape Reddit, and down here we should find the URL. Let's see. Here we go. Just like that. Let's run this one more time and then read what solution it's got provided us. Let's run this. Let's just wait in here for the solution to come in. The problem solution and all the information it's going to provide. It's taken a second. There we go. Okay. So we've got the problem. Utilizing around 110 templates heavily on merge fields, suddenly Dropbox began enforcing maximum character limit, 13 characters per line on merge fields, causing templates to fail and bringing their process to a halt. They need a replacement for Dropbox Sign that is affordable, while being integrated with Salesforce. What's our solution? From the community feedback, the recommendation alternatives and says PandaDoc, DocuSign, Cogna, PDF. Steps to immediate action. Review PandaDoc. Book a demo call. If your template complexity increases beyond the scope. Okay, so this is providing solutions from the community. But what I actually want to do is I want it to recommend us what we can create for a solution. So I'm going to adjust this prompt and say, whatever problem they are facing, I want you to come up with a SaaS idea that I could build. Problem. Now let's see what happens. Let's run this. Let's give it a second. May as well rename this. In this meantime, example Reddit post problem up idea generation. There we go. It's gone here. Now let's see what it's done. So this will be the same as up here because it's the same Reddit post. And a photo no code, but features include full native Salesforce integration, data never leaves Salesforce except for signatures, Visually advanced. So here it's describing a whole SaaS platform for us that we could build, which is pretty cool. And then we got the conclusion, which is also pretty cool. And then in here we have a direct link to the Reddit post. 72 comments, 40 plus 32, so we can actually confirm we have the right amount of comments. Coming into here, we have 40 plus 32. That's 72, which is good. So that's 40 comments plus the 32 replies to those comments. So I've got the exact amount of comments. And yeah, this is now completely done. You can, let me put this up. This is all complete now. You can add whatever else you want to add to it. I'm also going to remove this part because I'm going to scrape the comments regardless. I think it's good to give AI just that little bit more context. You could also remove this question or issue post, but you might want to do some filtering with that later on to further narrow down your searches. And yeah, I had a lot of fun building this out. Had to do a bit of problem solving with this code part in particular. I'm not a coder by any means, so I had to go back and forth with DeepSeek. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun building it out, and we'll see you in the next one.